All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Palmetto Kings podcast. This is my father, Mike. I'm Dave. We're a father and son, and we have two separate teams in the state of South Carolina. But we love our state and we love college football, and we're here to just talk football to everybody and talk about these big games this Saturday. The first one we have this weekend is South Carolina and Vanderbilt, 7:45 p.m. night game at Williams-Brice Stadium. The spread what started out at 5.5, but since then it's dropped 2 points down to 3.5. A lot of money coming in on Vandy. I'm really excited for this game. I think it's gonna be a great game. Vanderbilt has really built their program well using NIL and the transfer portal and everything in this new era of college football. And it's crazy that we're sitting here in week 3, talking about what may happen or the fact that South Carolina is a 3.5 point favorite. So let's get right into it. My thoughts. Um, South Carolina's been playing really poorly recently. I mean, their performance against SC State was just abysmal. No push on the offensive line. Not even averaging 2 yards per carry. Not getting the run game going. Winning with a couple punt return touchdowns. And that's just not going to cut it when you begin SEC play like this. And so I'm just looking for more from my Gamecocks. I know they have the talent to beat this team, but I don't know if they've really put it all together. And so hopefully we see some more urgency out of the Gamecocks. But Vandy's going to come with some heat for sure. What do you think?
I think that's true. I think you're going to have to score more than you have so far to win this football game. Pavia is a great quarterback, and they're going to get a few points. Uh, they slung it around on Virginia Tech in the second half. Uh, of course, you guys did pretty decent against Virginia Tech in the second half too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they broke down
Yes,
over
sir.
time. Um, so I see it as a pretty evenly matched football game. Y'all supposedly have a little more talent on the whole, uh,
Oh,
but
for sure we got the talent.
they're well coached, and both teams are pretty good at quarterback. I think they can throw it better than you can,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. It's pretty evenly matched. I like that point spread. I think that's just about right. Uh,
Really?
yeah, South
The
Carolina at home.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I like South Carolina at home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in this game, in a really tight football game.
Yeah. Um, you know, I'm not necessarily I mean, I've seen South Carolina beat Vanderbilt my whole life. Every single year it's a W on the schedule. This is that first year where it's been 50-50. I mean, it's insane how far we've come in this sport to where we're
Well,
talking about it like this, but
that changed when Clark Lee took over down there, and he went out and he got himself a great quarterback.
yeah.
You can compete with anybody if you're well coached and you're great at quarterback.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of other things
Yeah.
meaningless. It neutralizes them. Uh,
Yeah.
Same with being bad at quarterback. A great team can look bad with a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a force.
Nah,
They're
yeah, their quarterback's a baller for sure. Like we were talking about earlier, he was on that podcast, and he's saying he had this game circled. I mean, the what we did to them last year after all the success they had prior to that game, beating Alabama, coming into that game, and then they only scored one touchdown, and they got beat by three. I'm sure that
yeah.
he felt some type of way about South Carolina after that game, and he's looking for revenge. So luckily we get him at home. I know Williams-Brice is going to be rocking, and hopefully there's no weather delays slowing up that game because there's going to be a lot of anticipation, and those players are just going to want to go out there and play. So hopefully there's no delays or anything like that, like last weekend. But man, I'm telling you, if like we come out there to weigh like with a bunch of 3-and-outs, a bunch of just running up the middles, like just running it up the middle, getting stopped, and not really showing the offensive power the capabilities that I know we have, like Vanderbilt's able to just take this one and just off the rip and just because I'm sure they haven't given away too much of their secrets either. You know, I'm sure they got a lot in the bag that they can just go and get one
Well,
and
the
put
reason
points
you're
on the board
running
when
it
they
up the
need it.
middle so much is that you can't pass block.
Yeah, exactly.
There you had Virginia Tech all in your backfield
Mm-hmm.
for
Yep.
most of the game, and so the way to neutralize that is to run right at it. So that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you fix that.
I don't know how you fix it either. I mean, that's where the balls snap. That's where everything begins. And if you're just letting people walk right through, you're not going to have a good time, and that's going to ultimately affect your game plan. So, Beamer, hopefully it's a good week of practice for them, and they fix all these issues or as best as they can, because it's going to be rough. But there's got to be some way.
There's a lot of parity across the SEC. I don't see one team being super dominant. When you
Mm,
looked at Alabama on your schedule earlier, but before the season started,
yeah,
that was a pretty daunting looking game against a top 10 team, and Florida State dusted them.
yeah.
And now Alabama doesn't stink.
No, they
They
don't.
haven't gone away, but it's just that there's a lot of parity. It's going to be like this every week.
Yep. A lot of volatility. I hope as a fan, this is the coming out party for this football team. I hope they just come out with something to show, something to prove, because there's been a lot of disrespect with the money coming in on Vandy and what people are saying online. I mean, there's just a lot of disrespect, and when you're a team trying to compete for the playoffs, I mean, you need to silence some people, and you need to get some respect on your name. And I mean, usually you don't have to do that against Vandy, but nowadays you do. When they come into your house, you demand some respect. You know, don't let Vandy come in here with some muddy shoes and start walking all over your house. And especially not Williams Bryce at night. I mean, we're to be feared at Williams Bryce at night. So
Well, that's a
it's
good
gonna be a heck of a
attitude to
game.
have.
Yeah,
That's a good
I mean,
attitude
take
to
your
have.
shoes off at the door. Take your shoes off at the door, and then you come in and you ain't gonna sit in the comfortable seat. You're gonna be uncomfortable, and you're gonna want to get out of there quick. But
So what's your call on that football game? Are you ready to call that game?
man, I don't know, man. As a fan, I'm hopeful that we show up like a different team, but from what I've seen the past couple of weeks, I haven't really been impressed. I haven't really seen, that urgency and that competitive fire that we had at the end of the season. And, this offense is way too good for the way they perform. So, but there's just too many red flags for me. Way too many red flags. And so I think this is the year where Vandy finally bites us and gets us, and we're gonna it's gonna be daunting times for our fan base. I want to sit up here and pump my chest. We're 2-0. Yada yada yada. But seriously, like something's being underutilized on our offense because there's way too much firepower and they're not getting the job done. Getting pushed around by an FCS school like that. And I know our special teams is great and all, but I'm not going to rely on a punt return touchdown to happen every single game. That's just not the way I think about it. And if we get if our defense is out there against Vandy multiple times in the first half, just getting gassed, it could be a long night. It really could, because Vandy has the ability to silence a crowd. We saw them do it last weekend. They got an ability to silence a crowd, run up some points quickly, and once they get a rhythm, they don't lose it. And you know, that's
Well, I
just what I've
understand.
assessed through the first 2 weeks. So let me get to my point here. I think Vandy will beat us this weekend. I hope not.
Mhm.
God, I hope not, because I'm gonna have to look online and see all that junk for a week and be hopeless. But ultimately, what Vandy has shown is that they're a well coached team, and they're going to bring a fight to you. I mean, they're going to throw you a punch or two in the mouth, and you have to respond, or they're going to hit you with a knockout. So, and South Carolina's ability to respond right now, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I understand that. They've slogged through a couple of games here. But they also know they're being challenged now. And it is a really competitive game, close game, and I think South Carolina wins it by 3 points. I think you got enough guts to win the game at home. Wouldn't pick you on the road, but South Carolina being the home team, I
No,
got the Gamecocks in this one.
yeah, for sure. South Carolina at night. I mean, that's going to be tough for Vanderbilt. Like South Carolina is really going to have to stub their toe a little bit, but I've seen them stub their toe a lot of times already. So anything's possible in my book with this team. But anyways, another great game this weekend with your Clemson Tigers, and it's going to be played in Atlanta, Georgia versus the Georgia Tech. What do they call them? The Yellow Jackets or just the Jackets?
You can call them anything you want. They go by several things, I think. They go by the Rambling Wreck. They go by all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yellow
Okay.
Jackets or whatever.
All right. Yeah, the Rambling Wreck. I like that.
Right.
Now, you don't want to run into the Rambling Wreck this weekend if you're a Tiger.
No, no.
No.
You want to knock that thing off on the side of the road. Leave it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But anyway,
Um,
what you got? What you got for me?
well, they're getting their starting quarterback back in here. They played Gardner Webb on Saturday with a backup. And they get Haynes King back, who is their starting quarterback this week. In this
Mm-hmm.
game, I mean, you talk about a line moving. The line on this game moved from about 9 points down to about 2.5 now. So there's been a big loss of confidence in Clemson, which we thoroughly deserve.
Yep.
We've earned every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Our
It's been
offense
rocky.
our offense has been horrible. Cade's come in this year and looked just about like he did when he was a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no answers,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know how much of it's his fault or how much of it is Riley's fault, but they're just not getting it done on offense.
Mm-hmm.
It stinks. We keep our defense out on the field a lot. I think we got problems. I think we're going to lose the ball game this weekend. Because they haven't shown me any reason for optimism.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give me something. Now, like you did a second ago with Vandy, I may be giving Georgia Tech a little bit too much credit for how good they're likely to be because they
Mm.
beat a Colorado team that isn't anything special.
No, they're not.
And I don't know if LSU's as good as people think that they are, but if we can get out there on the field and play with LSU, that's a whole lot better football team than Georgia Tech is. They just don't have that kind of talent. It's very similar to Vandy in that they've got some guys uh, who are pretty good ball players, extremely well coached team.
Hmm.
Uh, Brent Key's a very good football coach. Got a lot of respect for that guy. We got a problem, and right now I'd say we're going to lose it because Georgia Tech just looks a little bit like they know what they're doing, and we look like some kind of group of Keystone cops running around out there when we've got the football.
Yeah.
I don't expect us to get a first down.
Yeah.
You
I feel you.
you
No,
line
I
up.
felt that.
Are we going to get
Yeah, I know what
this?
you mean.
I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
That's where they've got me to with this offense. I've not believed in them for 5 years now on offense. Now they might beat Georgia Tech. They've got some guys who are a whole lot better in certain positions, um, talent wise than Georgia Tech's got.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot like Vandy, Tech is good at quarterback, and Tech is well coached. And
Yeah.
I'd say they're not going to beat themselves, but I believe they turned the ball over about 3 times against Colorado and nearly
Yeah.
beat themselves. So I
Yeah, they
guess they
did.
have it in them.
Yeah, I mean, they they got a gamer at quarterback, just like with Vanderbilt. They got a guy who is tough as nails, and he doesn't care what team is in front of him. We saw this all last season, the Georgia game. I mean, he has heart, and he goes out there like he doesn't care who's in front of him. He's gonna go out there and play to the best ability he can every single time, because you know, he lives for those kind of moments. He's a good quarterback, and he can run. And when you got that kind of dynamic at quarterback, it can cause some trouble.
Yeah. And the backup that they played last week against Gardner Webb set a freshman throwing record for yards at Georgia Tech. I think it was 373 yards
Mm,
for a freshman quarterback. That was apparently the record for them down there.
yeah,
Um,
it's pretty good.
yeah, I
I
mean
mean, you
this
can't complain.
this Gardner Webb, but I might be a little bit pessimistic because the last thing that I saw wasn't that good. That Troy game throws scare into everybody.
Yeah.
You expect to hang your 40 up against Troy
Mm-hmm.
and send them back to Alabama.
Yeah.
Um, we look
Nah.
terrible. We look
Yeah.
terrible in the
You,
first
you
half.
you can't get out to a start like that. But to play devil's advocate, I mean, Georgia Tech came out that way against Colorado. 3 turnovers, first 3 possessions, 3 turnovers. And I'd like to say that Clemson's defense is better than Colorado's. And
Well, I would like to think that if we got the 3 turnovers, we would make them pay for it. But I'm
mm-hmm,
just not sure our offense knows how to stick it in the end zone and make it hurt. We don't make it hurt a lot of times when we get breaks like that. So I don't know. I think we're going to lose a close ball game. I think we're going to lose like a 2 point ball game
yeah.
in the end.
No, I definitely I agree with you. I think it's going to go down to the wire. Um, Hopefully, I mean, there's got to be some fire lit under Clemson with the performance against Troy and the talk that's been said. I mean, players hear that stuff. So, I mean, if they haven't been going hard at practice all week, like ready to go for this one, I mean, I don't know what else what kind of motivation you need to go and beat Georgia Tech.
Well, in his presser on Wednesday, and I don't know how much you've kept up with the media this week, but in the presser on Wednesday, Dabo said that these problems were on offense were not happening in practice.
Mm-hmm.
That they get out there in the game and suddenly there it is. So that's an unusual thing to say. And another
Yeah.
thing is, you remember the rat poison comment from Nick Saban a few years ago, where he was talking about his team was listening to how the media tell them how good they were, and it was just like rat poison.
Yep.
It just poisoned the team. Well, Dabo happened to say that he felt like a little bit of that had played into their poor start this season too. So, but to me, it's just a truckload of excuses
Yeah.
for what's on the whole not a very good, very well coached football team on the offensive side of the ball, um, and they haven't done a great job of recruiting certain positions. Some of that is
Hmm.
improving. Uh,
Yeah.
Matt Luke coming on board, I'm sure is going to improve the offensive line in the long run. Right now, they're
Hmm.
still pretty mediocre on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't. These kids who are seniors, who are playing on the line, despite being seniors, they never were any good. Now they're just older guys who
Yeah.
aren't really all that good. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. But so I kind of give Cade a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's standing behind the offensive line that he really doesn't seem to trust. People have
Mm.
always said he's got the happy feet, and I guess anybody would have happy feet standing behind that offensive line. You don't have
Yeah.
that much time back there. And Cade's stands back there nervous, makes bad decisions.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
if he's not making those bad decisions in practice, it's because he knows his own defense ain't going to knock him in the dirt. That makes a whole lot
Yeah.
of sense.
Well,
That's why.
hopefully we get hopefully you get a Superman version of him this weekend because you're definitely gonna need it. Um.
Well, I don't know if he has a Superman version, but I'd take a version that's just good enough to win. That's what I'd
Yeah.
like to have. But going on the road, they're still going to have to prove it to me. I believe that they're a better football team than Georgia Tech, and I believe that they can win the football game. But
Yeah. Realistically.
I got them dropping it by about 2 points. I think we're going to get behind, and then we're going to fight in the fourth quarter and come up a little bit short. That's the kind of game.
how do you think the Georgia Tech fans are gonna show up for that game?
Well, they're going to show up as well as they can. I think our fans are going to show up down there pretty well too. That's just a short little drive for us, and so
Mm-hmm.
we usually do pretty well taking people down there. But
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, they don't. I've never heard Georgia Tech Stadium being the most hostile place to play ever. Anybody's home stadium's obviously an advantage, but and plus, like you said, it's only a 3 hour drive. Clemson fans are going to be there.
we'll have a lot of fans down there. Um, Georgia Tech is a prideful team.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
defend that field best they can, and they can defend it pretty well right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're
For sure.
they're pretty solid.
Nah, that's going to be an exciting one. I think it's at what, noon?
That one's at noon.
That one's at noon.
That's a 2.5 point
I
spread,
look
and
forward to watching that one. I don't know where I can go with it. I think Georgia Tech will beat you. Um,
I haven't seen
but
any reason to say otherwise.
it's just the offense. It's just the offense. The
They,
defense.
they'll they'll squeak it out. They'll squeak it out by two, um,
Yeah.
because Clemson's better than they are.
Hmm.
I mean, if we play our best football, we
It'll
could
be
take
a.
care
It'll
of
be
them
like
easy,
a.
but we won't.
It'll be like a wishy washy kind of game, and then Clemson's maybe up a field goal or 4 points or something, but then Georgia Tech has that drive, that drive at 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, and then they're just getting first downs, and you're just like, here they go. And the Haynes King runs it in.
I look for it to be a fairly low scoring game. Yeah, both teams in the
Mm-hmm.
20s at the most. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody will crack 30.
No, I don't think so either. But who knows? We've seen crazier things. It's going to be a great weekend. Um, yeah, overall, I got Vandy, my team losing on the debut episode 1. I'm picking Carolina to lose against Vanderbilt. That is a monumental start to the Palmetto Kings podcast here. Unbelievable kind of
That's
pick I
life.
would have there. And then the Clemson man is picking the rambling wreck to beat
Rambling
them.
wreck, Yellow Jackets,
Yeah,
all of
picking.
that stuff.
So we're up here. We love the state of South Carolina. Don't get us wrong, but this weekend, you know, as realistic human beings, it's going to be tough for our teams.
It's the
Hopeful.
Palmetto Low Confidence Kings
Yeah, the
because
Palmetto Low Confidence Kings. There we go.
these teams have not inspired a great deal of confidence so far. They're
Mm-hmm.
not playing great football.
Yeah. Well, look, if you tuned in today, we appreciate you watching. It means a lot. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know if you disagree or agree with any of our comments or takes. And if you'd like to see us break down some of the games from this weekend, let us know in the comments below. We want to get an idea of what our viewers kind of want to see, and we're hungry to create some more content for everybody. So if you enjoyed the episode, like I said, like, subscribe, and we're gonna have some more videos coming for you soon. So I hope you enjoyed episode 1. This is Dave. This is Mike, and we're the Palmetto Kings. We appreciate you tuning in.
Good night, bud.